Let's pull back the curtain on the one language that every single piece of our modern tech speaks. Yeah, I'm talking about the supercomputer in your pocket, the chip in your car, even your smart fridge. They all share a secret code that powers our entire digital world.
All right, here's a fun one for you. Think about your smartphone. It's this incredibly complex, powerful device, and then you've got your washing machine. On the surface, they seem like they're from completely different planets. But what if I told you they share a fundamental secret?
Yep, you heard that right. They both speak the exact same secret language. It's a language that has no words, no alphabet as we know it, but it's powerful enough to do everything from sending a text message to running a spin cycle.
So let's dive right in and start unlocking that secret digital language. Because once you get this, you start to understand how all of our devices really work under the hood.
You might be thinking, this super powerful language must be incredibly complicated, right? Well, that's the amazing part. It all comes from the absolute simplest idea you can imagine, the difference between something being on.
See, this whole thing isn't just an abstract idea, it's based on actual physical stuff. Deep inside every one of your devices are millions or even billions of tiny electronic switches called circuits, and each one can only be in one of two states. Either it has electricity flowing through it, that's on, or it doesn't, that's off. We just give those states a label, 1 for on and 0 for off. That's it. That's the entire alphabet.
And each one of those individual zeros or ones has a name. We call it a bit, which is just short for binary digit. You can think of a bit as the single atom of all digital information. It is the absolute smallest piece of data you can have.
So, a single on or off switch, not super useful on its own, right? The real magic, the real power comes when you start putting them together. So let's see how we go from that simple little switch to, well, meaningful information. It all starts here, with just one bit, a single tiny switch that can be either a 0 or a 1.
But then the magic happens when we line up 8 of them in a row. This special group of 8 bits gets its own name. It's called a byte.
And with a byte, with just 8 of these on-off switches, we suddenly have enough different combinations to represent something useful. A specific pattern can stand for the letter A, another one can be the number 7, and another one an exclamation point. The very text you're seeing on your screen right now is just a bunch of bytes telling the pixels what to do.
Okay, so letters and symbols make sense. But what about numbers? How on earth does a computer do math with just a string of on and off switches? Well, it's actually a really clever system.
Now, take a look at this. That sequence, 1, 0, 1, to us, that looks like 101. But to a computer, nope, it actually represents the number 5. I know, that sounds kind of weird, but trust me, there's a perfect logic behind it. Okay, so here's how we crack the code. You see, we count in powers of 10, the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds, and so on. Computers count in powers of 2. So if you read a binary number from right to left, the first spot is the ones place, the next spot over is the twos place, the next one is the fours place, then eights, and it just keeps doubling. So for our number, 101, you just add up the values for the positions that are turned on, the ones. You have a 1 in the fours place and a 1 in the ones place. So 4 plus 1 equals 5. See? It's just a different way of counting.
So we have letters, symbols, numbers, all coming from a simple on-off switch. Now, let's just take a step back for a second, because the true impact of this incredibly simple idea is just staggering. It is the foundation of everything in our digital lives.
I mean, just look at this list. Every single thing on here and so much more is built on that basic on or off logic. The internet? It's just billions of bits flying around the globe at the speed of light. Your smartphone is performing millions of these binary calculations every single second. Every line of code a programmer writes eventually gets translated down into these simple zeros and ones. It is quite literally the bedrock of our modern world.
You know, this quote just nails it. It really is the perfect description. An invisible language. We never actually see the zeros and ones, but they are always there, under the surface, silently making everything we take for granted work.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The most complex technological revolution in all of human history was built on the simplest possible idea, on or off, yes or no. The real question for the future is, what's going to be the next simple language, and what incredible new worlds will we build with it?